Hello everyone, and a happy holiday weekend. It's Memorial Weekend, and just want to do a quick video here in Philly. It's the Penn's Landing section of Philadelphia, and I just thought it was a beautiful day this morning, and just wanted to give you a quick video. And I was just thinking while I was in here in Philly, as well as for the Memorial Weekend, the battleship there. And the main thing that was on my mind the whole weekend is leadership. Leadership. And you being a leader for your organization and being able to guide people and lead by example, so that this way they're able to know what's expected of them. Whether people like it or not, I think most people like to know what's expected of them, and they like rules. People like rules. They like to be guided to say, you know, what do I do today? What do I do tomorrow? What do I do next month, 6 months from now? Most people don't have a plan. They don't have a plan of action, and they're looking for some sort of leadership. Are you a leader? Are you the leader of your organization? If you're not, let's face it, not everyone is a leader. Okay? But you can be a leader in different respects. What do I mean by that? Well, you could lead by example, right? You don't have to sit there and physically tell people what to do, okay? And I'm talking about telling people what to do in a good way, not being bossy, but, you know, telling people, you know, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. Are you, how many people have you called today? Have you followed up with your group? That's what I'm talking about is telling people what to do. And you don't have to necessarily be like that if that's not your personality type. But you can lead by example. And I don't know exactly what Dr. Stan said in this regard, because I can't repeat it, but because he talks so fast when he does it, but he makes a great point. And he's talking about, you know, your talks and your walks and your talk so fast that I can't hear a thing you're saying. Something to that respect. And what does he mean by that? Meaning that you're walking the talk and you are leading by example, and your actions are talking a lot louder than your words. You know, so your talk so loud that I can't hear a thing you're saying. That's what he's talking about. And it's a very profound statement, because you can lead by example for your group. And when people see that you're dedicated, that you're on every one of the calls, the live calls, that you're maybe popping out with a testimonial once in a while, and that type of thing, then they tend to do that as well. Now, we talk a lot of times about upgrading and going into higher levels of the compensation plan. Well, that's the same thing, okay? You're leading by example, which is showing your people the direction. Like when I was in the Marine Corps, we didn't just say, okay, go do this. When things were important, we would say, follow me, right? Of course, we'd give orders and to do certain things, but those are, you know, certain tasks that needed to be done. But when things were important, we would say, follow me. And anything that we gave as an order, we were willing to do ourselves. You know, we wouldn't give anything to anyone else that we weren't willing to do ourselves. So that's the same thing in your network marketing business, is that you have to be able to be willing to do what other people are not willing to do to become successful. And when people see that, you're going to have, not every one of the people in your group are going to follow you, obviously, because many people have their own issues to deal with that are going to derail them. And you can't save everybody. So please understand that. You can't save everybody from themselves. But you will have a large portion of your people that will look for you for guidance and will follow what you're doing. So if you're upgrading to higher levels in the comp plan, if you're progressing through the ranks and so on, you're going to have a large portion of your people that are going to do that as well. This is the Ben Franklin Bridge, by the way. It's beautiful at night, actually, and it lights up and the lights change in the colors and so on. And I've been in Philly just once or twice, just to visit the Liberty Bell and so on, but nothing really in this part of Philly. It's actually quite beautiful. So you know, and especially this weekend when we're thinking about Memorial Day and you know, veterans and you know, that type of thing. And if you've been a veteran, congratulations and thank you very much for your service. And as you know, I've been in the Marine Corps and as a sergeant, and you know, took it very seriously when I was in. And I'd like to thank all the men and women that were servicing their country. And if you know someone, give them a hug. Tell them you appreciate their service. So, and as I was looking at my hotel room and thinking about Philadelphia and thinking about what happened here in the Revolutionary War and the Liberty Bell and Independence Hall and signing the Declaration of Independence, and my favorite person of all, he's probably one of my top 3 or so people ever, really, in history, is Benjamin Franklin. I mean, the guy was incredible. He just did everything. I read his, you know, I read a whole book on him and everything, and the guy was just incredible. So, like to, you know, I went to his printing shop and different things, but you know, he started in basically nothing. And he would just buy books and loan books and swap books and read and just absorb everything possible that he could. And you know, talking about feeding your mind. And the guy was such a learned person, but you know, much of that was through his self-learning and being wise and being able to read the writing on the wall of what was happening in the world around him and taking advantage of that situation. And a scientist, an inventor, and a politician, and statesman, and just an incredible person. If you ever get a chance to read a little bit about him, other than just what you've heard in school, I urge you to do that. Quite inspiring. And you know, he was the consummate leader of the Revolutionary War, and that people looked to him for guidance and wisdom and so on. So, you know, what am I talking about? How does that relate to network marketing? Well, just what I'm talking about today. If you're not a leader in that regard, okay, and I understand that. Again, I know everyone's not that type of person. They don't have that kind of personality, but find someone that is. Find someone that is and grab their coattails, right, and ride with them. Because I'm sure that they'll be willing to take you along with them. And it doesn't necessarily matter if they're your specific direct upline. Because, I mean, I've been in programs where people are not in my downline, and I don't have a lineage directly to them, or at least I'm not getting compensated through the compensation plan because they're in a different leg of some sort. And I don't mind them coming to my calls and you know, and helping them somewhat in their program, in the program, you know. So it's just an honor and a privilege to be able to help those people. And you know, what goes around comes around, right? Because I know that there's people in my organization that maybe don't identify with me. Maybe you know, they don't identify with my personality or the way I teach or the way I lead or whatever, and they'll gravitate to someone else in somebody else's lineage that doesn't have anything to do with me, or go to their conference calls and guide their people over there, but I am getting financially compensated from it. So it's a give and take here and there. So, you know, please understand that it doesn't always have to be, you know, direct compensation from your effort and so on, because you never know what little ripple that you do to help someone else is going to come back to help you as well. You know, it's always the pay it forward thing. So that leadership and followed by example is going to help you tremendously financially in your business. So it's not something that's going to be apparent right away in your business as far as your bottom line. Probably, and maybe, but probably not. But it's something that's going to permeate you and your business, and people are going to know that when they join your business, they're going to have somebody that's dedicated to the business, and it's not just going to go, okay, I'm, join this business, and next week, oh yeah, here's another one, join this business, and next week is, oh, here's another one, join this business, and so they want to be led in the right way as well too. Not that we understand, obviously people do multiple programs in most cases, so, but you know what I'm saying. You might notice in a lot of my videos, I love water. And I love green. It's funny because I do live in New York City. But that's probably because I'm around so much concrete that I got to get out and get some green and get some water in my life. And it just is very energizing, actually. So I hope you hear what I'm saying today. And maybe take some of it to heart and try to do that. And, stay plugged in, get on the calls. Don't say, oh, I don't have a guest tonight, I'm not going to be on the call. Because you're participating in calls and webinars and helping the group as a whole, whether you know it or not. Why? Because it's all about energy, right? It's all about the group's energy. I'm talking about the whole company and the amount of people and participation and so on. It's the group's energy. Have you ever been on a call where there's 2 people, 3 people on the call and they say, hey, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread? And a guest is on there and they're saying, why would it be the best thing since sliced bread when there's 2 people on the call? Right? Well, that's what I'm talking about, energy. So even if you don't have a guest on the call, you should get on the call and announce your name at the beginning of the call, right? So that when guests are on there, they're hearing Paul from Sacramento and Jane from Texas and whatever from another country and so on, So they hear that energy and that bing, bing, bing at the beginning of the call, and they're like, wow, what's going on here? There's something happening here. I might really want to take a serious look. So when you have a guest on the call and other members don't have a guest on the call, but they're there and they're participating with the energy on the call, now they're helping you. So, that's what I'm talking about in that regard. And your group that are on there that don't have a guest but hear you on the call, and they hear you announce yourself on the call, it comes back to leadership again. See, everything's all kind of binding together and wrapping together. So they hear you on the call, and they hear you and they say, wow, Peter's on the call every single night. Now, the person that's in your group and hears you announcing on the call, they don't know you have a guest or not, right? You may have 5 guests on the call, you may have 10, you may have none. But they don't know that. But they hear you on the call, they hear you participating on every call, and they're like, wow, he's really participating in the business. I might want to, up my game a little bit. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So, eventually, this all comes down to your bottom line, which is how much money you're making. Because you're in business, let's face it, you're not in business for, chuckles and grins. You're in business to feed yourself and your family and achieve your goals financially and lifestyle-wise and whatever it happens to be. This happens to be the hotel. Let me just go around this way. The Hyatt in Penn's Landing. This monument over there, if you see it just beyond the masts over there, that's the Christopher Columbus monument dedicated to Christopher Columbus, 1492 to I don't know, a few hundred years after that. So they put that over there. A lot of nice walks through here, and gardens and pathways for people to come and do different things. Not sure what bridge that is over there. We just love that battleship. Looks so stoic over there. So back to my preaching. So I want to speak to you listening to this video, and I want to say 3 words to you. Become your dream. What does that mean? Become your dream. You have a dream, right? You have a dream in your life to do something, to achieve something, to become something. And many people had lots of dreams when they were younger, right? And as you get older, what do? They get squashed. You can't do this. What makes you think you can do that? And oh, that's a scam. And 2 people say you know, and your husband or wife or significant other or family member or trusted friend thinks they know about network marketing, and it's always one of those things. They don't work, and you quit. Or that just puts that kernel of negativity and doubt in your mind, right? And squash your dream. Call them dream stealers, right? Well, you have to become your dream, and your dream has to be so strong that no matter what happens with those dream stealers, you could care less. You just say, hey, POTB, part of the business. And I tell my story all the time that my dream was so strong that I could care less what other people think, because I know in my heart that it works. And 20 some odd years later, it works. I can't tell you how many entrepreneurs and just business in general that started and people said, oh, that doesn't work, that can't work, and they're billion-dollar companies, right? So if you know in your heart that your plan is a valid one, go for it. Now, our network marketing business allows people to not have to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars, so you can leverage yourself with small amounts of money to leverage yourself up to have a business that is pretty significant, right? So you're leveraging yourself up from small amounts of money to larger amounts of money through effort, through people, and using the power of leverage and duplication and leading by example, and in many cases residual, right? So obviously at the beginning your business needs a lot of effort, and you're going to have probably more effort than you're going to get paid for, so later on you get paid for a lot of effort you don't do. I say that all the time. Mushaloo. Black and white. I was wondering how the heck did I get out of this section here. It looks like they're probably just staying there, and they're probably not going to get out of here. Probably museums of some sort, because it's all looks like it's all cooped up in here from this walkway. But probably museums. Looks like a restaurant of some sort, maybe. You know, so becoming your dream, you have to make that so important that it's in your brain. It's like fried into your brain or seared into your brain. You know, like they do those steaks and they put that branding iron on top of it and brand something on top of it. You got to have that in your brain. You know, you got to have that in your brain, that it's on your mind all the time, 24/7 prospecting heaven, and become a lean green prospecting machine. And you're going to get people that join that do nothing. You're going to get people that join that do a little bit. And you're going to get people that join that go ballistic. And obviously those are your home runs. But they don't come all the time. They come sometimes. And you might find them right away, but you might find them after a few months. You don't know. But as you do your business, you're going to get better and better at it, and you're going to find more and more of those people because of what I said before. Your walk walks, and your walk tells your story, and you attract those kind of people, right? people are going to say, what are you doing? Right, what are you doing? I don't know what you're doing, but I got to be part of it because I see your personality. I see what you're doing. I see, how you're guiding yourself, and your confidence precedes everything. So as you walk around and you start talking about things, people see your confidence level go way up, and they start joining, and you get more people that join that don't join. So that only comes over time and over confidence and belief and so on, and eventually you start getting your momentum high enough so that this way your business starts to grow on its own, and you in turn start to make some significant money. But it takes effort and so on at the beginning to do that, obviously. So I appreciate this time today, guys, to give you some insights this holiday weekend. Hopefully some of this has been able to help you in your business. And I enjoyed giving you this information today. Guys, have a great holiday. Give a veteran a hug and let them know that you appreciate them. Good luck with your business. Have a great day. Bye for now.